Augmented Reality for the blind? There is an app for that, the vOICe for Android. Hi, this is a form of introduction with a short demo afterwards. The software, the vOICe for Android. You spell it like voice, but the three middle letters, camel case says OIC. And in the past I've been using it for quite a few years, since the Nokia days, before developer Peter Mayer ported it to Android, and it was actually one of the initial reasons why I chose Android as my smartphone platform, for various reasons, but I've been using it for a while. And for example, among other things, when I did my motorcycle ride around a racetrack in 2018, I was also using it then with a VR headset, and it allowed me to correct my lines on the straights at times before my sighted companion even mentioned that I should. But anyway, here is the description of the Play Store, and to find it you just search for the single concatenated word seeing with sound.
About this app. Augmented reality for the blind, see with your ears. The voice for Android maps live camera views the soundscapes, offering augmented reality and unprecedented visual detail for blind through sensory substitution and computer vision. Also includes live talking OCR, a talking color identifier, talking compass, talking face detector, and a talking GPS locator. How does it work? The voice uses pitch for height and loudness for brightness in 1 second. Left to right scans of any view colon. A rising bright line sounds as a rising tone. A bright spot as a beep. A bright filled rectangle as a noise burst. A vertical grid as a rhythm. Best used with stereo headphones for the most immersive experience and most detailed auditory resolution. Why is the voice free? Because our foremost goal is to make a real change by lowering barriers to use as much as we can.
Anyway, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this recording, etc. now, is that besides using it sort of standalone on your Android handset, which I've been doing for a little while with a small Android handset strapped to the back of my one hand, besides the primary device at times, I've also recently gotten hold of a set of camera sunglasses that can attach to other devices as a standard driverless USB webcam, and that means I can connect it to my Android handset, and working through an additional piece of software called USB Camera, either the free version or the pro version. It allows me to then stream the video input or the camera input to the vOICe, among other things, because it lets me then work hands-free with my phone backed away in my pocket, for example, or in a belt or wherever, and I can literally look around while wearing the glasses and pick up things like that. For other platforms, there is also a web-page hosted version at seeingwithsound.com/webvoice/webvoice.htm, but I'm now going to launch the Android version to show you a couple of minor things.
The voice for Android. Landscape. Back.
Please connect stereo headphones.
The voice 2.78 battle.
Toggle mute.
Main screen.
First thing there, around about the middle of the screen, I found toggle mute, just to turn it off for now. And we're now going to show you a couple of small things on the main screen. There are some options. You more or less explore the screen with your finger. You don't really swipe because it's not going to find everything, but there's a couple of things like color filtering, detect colors, etc. But I'm not going to go into too much detail there. Main thing I want to show you is some of the options here. But on the main part of the screen, sort of in the middle, just below center,
toggle mute.
Toggle mute would let me turn soundscapes on or off. And right down at the bottom, a couple other places on the screen, but right down in the bottom middle,
toggle mute. Options.
Options, and that's what we want to go in here. There are various other ways. You can use voice commands. On the bottom left, there's a voice command button.
Say command.
Say command. And you can use that to toggle things like edge detection, noise filtering, or ask it where am I, and that sort of thing. But these are things you'd have to explore yourself. There's quite a lot here, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. Let's go into the options now.
Options. Options.
The voice for Android. Unmute. Enlist.
The first option will always be the last thing you've changed. I'm going to go through here now, just mention some of them. Let's see, but it's a menu that pops up, and you sometimes need to scroll with 2 fingers, etc. to find the options, but I'm just going to explain some of them.
Unmute. Say color names.
Say color names, that literally identifies colors.
Say object names.
Low-level offline object recognition.
Color filter.
Color filter that you can specifically switch it to only react to certain colors.
Negative video.
Negative video for dark or negative video.
Zoom by 2.
Zoom, you can zoom in, zoom by 2, zoom by 4.
Edge detection.
It's edge detection, which makes it focus on outlines.
No image noise filter.
And I have it set to image noise filter because it cleans up the input slightly, but that would toggle it off again.
Contrast.
Contrast, just contrast levels.
Audio volume.
Audio volume that you can adjust with the volume rocker.
Snapshot resolution.
Snapshots, because you can get to save snapshots, you can use it for photography. There are actually guys like Pranav that use it for photography.
Language.
You can choose your language. That's literally the interface language.
Speech rate.
Speech rate, obvious.
Camera.
Camera, this one is quite important. There's, for example, camera 1 would be your standard back camera. There's a couple others in there, but camera option number 4 lets you select the IP camera, which is the streaming camera, and below that there's a text box where you enter the URL to pick up the stream from. And with these USB, UVC compliant webcams, it would generally be something like http://localhost:8081/video, which is port 8081/video, and that is what I use to pick up the stream from these camera sunglasses.
Other settings.
Other settings let you adjust things like whether you want the soundscapes, whether you want musical soundscapes, whether you want it to launch automatically when you power up your phone or your handset or whatever. And there's a couple other options in there like enabling text recognition, because it can do low-level OCR. If you left that turned on, it might mention shop names or things like that to you as you went past them.
Online training manual.
Online training manual.
Disable touch until exit.
And disable touch until exit puts in place a form of touch blocking so that you could leave it in your pocket with the screen left turned on and wouldn't interfere, and all that would happen would stay running and you wouldn't have normal touch interaction to cause interference until you exited and then relaunched it. So the next thing that's going to come up now will be a small demo that I recorded outside. And for out and about, I would generally wear a multi-pocket jacket, and I would generally just carry my phone in the one pocket with the cable running up to the glasses. And I do also plan to probably look for a wireless portable power pack, because unfortunately this can put a bit of a load on the CPU and the battery, etc. at times, but that's to be expected. This is just a very quick little demo to show you some real-world usage, if you want to call it that. I am actually staying outside the house in the garden. I already have the vOICe running with the camera glasses connected. And I'm just going to unlock the screen now.
15:3 landscape unlocked. The voice 2.78 augmented reality for the blind. Window the voice 2.78 augmented reality for the blind.
Looking at the house now.
2.78 augmented reality.
Lock the screen, which turns it off, mutes it if you want to call it that.
15:3
Lock the
move up.
screen.
Move up. Landscape unlocked. The voice
Active again.
2.78 augmented reality
Yeah,
for the
I'm
blind.
now turning my head slightly to the right. And you'll hear when the details change as I find the glass door to enter the house. Yeah, that line, that is the door line. Just to give you an idea. You know, there's two sides to the door, left and right. Turn back towards the main part of the house. Very slowly. Have a look, and let's try a trick now. We'll quickly mute this.
Toggle mute.
Do one other thing.
Accessibility volume set to 100%.
Because we're not specifically running Google Gemini Live at the moment, I'm quickly going to turn on camera color preview.
Toggle color preview on.
Alright, this means while I'm now looking, let's look at the detail again. And let's ask TalkBack to describe it to us.
Screen description. The screen shows a surveillance camera view of an outdoor patio area with brick walls and a tiled floor. There is a table with chairs visible in the background. At the top of the screen, on the right side, is the word options, in horizontal pages. The voice 2.7.
Is that what? Yeah.
Portrait. Nova launcher.
That was literally just me using a trick after turning on camera color preview, which literally renders the imagery on screen, that I then use my trick with MacroDroid to shake the phone or the handset and have talk back to its described full screen functionality, which gave me a preview or a low-level description of this camera scene. Now let's fire up Gemini Live screen share.
Mail. Be my art. Share screen with live. Share your screen with Google. When you're cancel. Share screen. Button.
Okay, he's now running in the background.
Nova settings. Hold a colon. The voice for Android. Landscape.
Please turn your phone to landscape. Toggle mute.
Can you tell me what's showing on screen now?
I can see a view of a brick wall with 2 windows, a paved patio, and some green grass in the foreground. There's also a shadow stretching across the grass and patio.
Has the picture changed now?
Yes, the picture has changed. It now shows a bit more to the right, revealing a patio with a pillar, a potted plants, and a table with chairs.
Thank you. All I did there was turn my head to the right to pick up the view of the patio, the stoop, whatever you want to call it, without moving much else and without moving the handset, and then asked him to re-describe the scene, and you heard the difference there.